on shopping outing. She was so rude.
Yo, what's up, guys? So I'm sure you guys have seen this already, but that New York shopper just claiming on TikTok about how rude and, entitled Blake Lively is. So just getting crazy. So now Blake Lively is allegedly suing a New York shopper, and I generally think this might be one of the most outrageous things we've seen from a celebrity this year. Not because she's fighting for justice, but because she's allegedly trying to shut down a regular person, just like you and I, who dare to speak up. A shopper, a normal human being who walked into a boutique, witnessed a celebrity acting like a royalty on a rampage, and had the courage to post about it. And instead of reflection, remorse, or even a standard PR apology, what does she do? She allegedly sends in lawyers. To me, that's not strength. It's panic dressed up as power. It's what you do when the mask slips and truth hits too hard. I don't think the shopper lied. I think they told the raw truth, and Blake couldn't handle the consequences.
Could this be true? Could this be false? I gotta look at it with you guys. I want to get your thoughts again. What's interesting about this story is the TikTok has since been pulled, but
she got caught and she got exposed, and now she's allegedly trying to bury the whole thing in legal threats. But here's the thing. Once the public sees behind the curtain, there's no going back. The internet does not forget, and when a fan becomes a whistleblower, no lawsuit can unsee what's already gone viral. Firestorm started with a now deleted TikTok posted by a shopper named Landon. But don't get it twisted. Just because it's gone doesn't mean it didn't happen, because by the time the video came down, it had already rocketed across the internet, stitch after stitch, screenshot after screenshot. I just saw it the other day. I'll play it for you guys here.
Thankfully for Blake Lively snark on Reddit, it's been archived. We're going to go through, once it's on the internet, it's always on the internet. You're nobody until you're talked about. Entitled Blake Lively was blasted by a fan for the horrible way she treated employees.
And Blake Lively's name was trending, and not for a good reason. In the video, Landon calmly and clearly described what they witnessed inside the Stony Clover Lane boutique in New York City. And according to them, Blake entered the store like she was storming a castle. No hello, no acknowledgement of the employees. She didn't speak up to the customers, and worst of all, she didn't even engage with their own children. Yeah, she was just there, and she was minding her own business, Landon. And Blake was just being entitled and telling them like, hey, like, you don't have like dresses or like whatever product she was looking at, you don't have this where nobody has touched it. Like, I don't want other people to have touched this. I don't want to wear what other people have worn, and how can I imagine that Blake looks like the type, you know what I mean? But Blake's response to all this, she was allegedly she wasn't to reflect, it wasn't to apologize, it was according to reports to pursue legal action against the shopper for telling the truth. And that's when the internet really took notice.
At a store in New York City, Saturday, a fan named Landon took to TikTok to share what occurred when she was out shopping at Stony Clover Lane while the Gossip Girl alum was also there. It was honestly a horrible experience. I don't know how she has any fans anymore.
Now let's break down exactly what Landon claims happened, because this wasn't just about being standoffish or distracted. This wasn't a celebrity having a tough day. What was described was calculated entitlement, the kind that leaves a mark on people who are just trying to do their jobs, First, Blake allegedly demanded a completely untouched product. Now, in any other setting, a customer request like that might seem unreasonable or reasonable, but the way it was allegedly delivered, abrupt, cold, no please, no thank you, it wasn't a request, it was a command, as if the store existed solely for her. If I was Blake, I'd probably think like that too, with that kind of power, that kind of fame, you kind of think like the world kind of revolves around you, because every single day you're getting affirmations that you are the center of your universe, right? Just fans, everyone's looking at you, so I think at that point, if you're that kind of star, it kind of makes sense. But so imagine you being that center of the universe, and then you have to consciously decide, become aware that, maybe it isn't about me. It takes a certain level of intelligence, is what I'm saying. It takes intelligence for someone to be as high of a superstar as Blake Lively is, and which most of us think that she's not even high on that totem pole, right? Besides Gossip Girl. Besides that, what else? But it takes a certain level of intelligence of a superstar like that to be able to be life isn't just revolves around me. There's stores and employees here who are just trying to do their job. They don't need to be perfect for me, But that's just my opinion, So
she was out shopping with her mom and sister. That checks. And so we'll play the video in a second. First of all, we walked in and we're just looking around. I didn't even notice Lively at first. I'm just shopping for my sister.
And there was one staffer allegedly whispered to Landon that it was the worst celebrity experience they'd ever had. And if you know anything about NYC retail, that's saying a lot. These employees have dealt with A-listers, billionaires, influencers, and somehow Blake Lively stood out as the worst. That says everything. And of course, after that, the internet didn't hesitate. The moment Landon's story went viral, comment sections exploded. People who once idolized Blake started turning on her fast, and not in a performative way, not in a cancel culture pile, in a genuine disappointed, like I expected better kind of way.
And the way Lively's talking to the workers at the store was so rude. She was like, I want a fresh one of these. One that wasn't touched by other customers. Is there a private bathroom?
One of the top comments on a reposted video read, I used to love her, Gossip Girl, Age of Adeline, all of it, but this, I'm done. That's not hate. That sounds to me like heartbreak, And others once were generous. They slammed her behavior as a diva level entitlement and unforgivable. And the most viral reaction, a side-by-side comparison of Blake's magazine interviews where she talks about being a mom, staying grounded and loving her fans, with clips of Landon's TikTok. The contrast was pretty crazy, the words versus actions. What's even more interesting, some former employees of brands that Blake has partnered with chimed in, anonymously saying this isn't surprising at all. She's always been like that. That's when things really turn.
Landon alleged that Lively was ignoring everyone, including her kids and her niece, as she chose the patches she wanted to add to her customized bag. I mean, it does sound like her, but it could also be made. I don't take this as you will. I was like, oh my gosh, people are working hard in stores like this, and this is how you're treating them.
Also, just so you guys know, Blake is her beauty brand is currently in lawsuit for a trademark of the name. I'm probably gonna make a video about that. Like, she's filed a lawsuit against someone who has like a name trademark closely to hers. I think her name is Blake Brown or Brown Beauty. I gotta look into it more. But she's also gonna sue them because their name is too close to hers. Man, that's crazy. Imagine like starting your own makeup brand, and you're gonna get in a trademark, and Blake Lively hits you with a lawsuit. That's insane. But maybe we could do a video on that.
Like, you're being so entitled, she claimed. And the second we walked out, it was clear that we were invading their space. It's a store, first of all. There's no sign that says you can't enter. She didn't block it off.
Now let's talk about the alleged lawsuit, because this is where things get really crazy. According to multiple sources close to the situation, Blake Lively didn't just ignore the viral TikTok. She allegedly responded with legal action. She reportedly is suing the shopper Landon for defamation, for damaging her reputation, as if her behavior didn't do that already. As if telling the truth about someone's real-world actions isn't somehow a criminal offense. Here's what I believe. This lawsuit isn't about clearing her name. It's about erasing the backlash. It's about intimidation. It's pretty what it comes down to. People just intimidating fans from doing stuff like this. So, like, if you ever, running yourself in a situation like that again, you're less inclined to post about it because you don't want to get, attacked by them, right? So.
And the second we leave, a Lively security guard comes and stands in front of the door. And now I'm at the corner of the street, and the security guard is staring at me. Landon then sent a stark message to people who still support the Mama 4. If anyone is still a fan of Blake Lively, I think recheck your decision on that, because she's not very nice to the common people, she claimed. Now, Blake Lively did reveal on Saturday that she was in this Stony Clover store.
And this isn't the first time Blake's been accused of trying to control a narrative. In fact, it's practically her brand. People who've worked on sets with her, whether stylists, or whatever, have described her as someone who must have the final word. The photos, the angles, the lighting, even the interview questions, everything is rehearsed, curated, micromanaged. She doesn't just act, she scripts the image around her acting. And when something doesn't go her way, that's when the real side comes out. There are reports of her changing red carpet arrangements, last minute scrapping interviews, demanding edits to promotional footage after the trailer had already been cut, and every time it's framed as protecting the brand. Yeah, she's crazy it ends with us, production, or what do you call that when you are gonna drop the movie, so you're promoting yourself. The whole saga was insane. She was managing her co-stars would just be sitting here while she's talking about her alcohol brand and her Brown Beauty, and how much she It was crazy. She was definitely on narrative control, That's probably what her husband, Ryan Reynolds, has been teaching her, how to control a narrative and stuff, because Ryan Reynolds is all about that. He's like pushing his brands. They're capitalizing on their fame right now, really, to push all their brands and stuff, and which is crazy. And if you think the shopper lawsuit is the only legal drama Blake's taking on there right now, which I think you already know, like she's in the middle of this war with Justin Baldoni. I know I'm gonna make a video later too, like Justin Baldoni's $400 million lawsuit against Blake Lively just got revoked or dismissed because the judge, in a 132-page statement, has said like Justin Baldoni has no evidence to say that he was defamed or extorted by Blake Lively, which I know all of us have already seen it. I think he definitely has a case, but not according to Judge Lyman. He dismissed it. So Justin Baldoni does have until I think 3 weeks to rebuttal that. But as of now, the only case that's ongoing is the Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni, like her case against him. That's what we got still going on. So add that to what's going on with lawsuit with Baldoni, with what's going on with the shopper thing. She's crazy, and she's also going to be suing that makeup brand who's trying to trademark a name similar to Blake Brown, her beauty brand. It's crazy. She's involved in a lot of stuff right now, and I don't really think she's gonna come out of this on top like she thinks so. She really didn't have to do any of this. I think, my personal opinion. I've been looking at this case and stuff, and I'm really into celebrity stuff like this. But it's kind of hard to look away when all my my sisters are talking about this and everyone's talking about this, and then I look into it and I just can't believe Blake has the face to look at anyone, with what happened and the receipts that Baldoni dropped. It just incriminates Blake a lot. What is she trying to gain from this? I'm assuming if Baldoni really did what Blake claims, then I get why you would go out there after someone, but it just doesn't seem like any of that's true. It looks like, which is the moral of the story with many things, is when you're accusing someone of something, normally you're the one who's doing it for some reason. It's crazy how that works, right? With humans. It's just you accuse someone of doing that, but it's actually you who are doing it. So you're feeling so guilty that you have to go out there, because it looks like Baldoni was just, if anything, he's too nice. He's too much of a nice guy. So I don't know. This stuff is crazy. So I'm gonna keep you guys updated with what I see, what's going on with this case and with the Baldoni case as well. I think the next video I'm gonna talk about what's going on with the Baldoni case. So hope you guys like it. Tune in. Let me know what you guys think, even if you hate me, because I want to feel sad too. Not just pure happiness from people loving it. I want to hear that hate, because we love to be sad, and that's a joke. I'm joking. I don't want to feel sad, but if you are gonna yell at me or hate me for whatever reason, my visuals suck or whatever, I'm just an editor. I'm learning right now. I'm still learning my stuff, so thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one.